Hey there, ninjas. I'm back today. We got a little thing from the allergies outside, so I apologize in advance if I'm a little like coughing. Anyways, I'm putting on the finishing touches to the next module of the Fearless Cooking Club, which is really exciting. This one is a module I'm really excited about, but I wanted to share a little bit about it here too, because there's a lot of information that you all can use, even if you're not a part of the club. So this particular module is called DIY flavor ingredients, right? And it's basically 4 simple techniques for adding incredible flavor to pretty much any dish, right? Like one complaint I get from a lot of people is that when I cook, it doesn't taste very good. Like the food that I get at the grocery store it tastes better. The food I get at the, takeout is way more flavorful. And you can do that at home, right? So, I mean, the number one way to make your food taste like it came out of a restaurant is actually just to add more salt, right? People tend to be really conservative with salt, and I get it. Too much salt is not great for you. And if you have a health problem that says that you should not consume salt, then don't do it. But if you're just a normal average person who doesn't have a problem with salt, like consider like bumping up the salt in your food, and you might be surprised. The whole point of salt is it like boosts every other flavor in your food, right? And it actually takes down bad flavors like bitterness. And so generally, something is salted properly when you taste it, and that flavor lingers for like a count of like 2 or 3. Like you taste something and it like tastes good and then it's gone, and you're like, oh, that was boring. If you taste something and it lingers for a couple seconds, like ideally like 4 and 5 seconds, if it sits on your palate and just like savors and it just still tastes good after a few seconds, like that means that it's been salted properly. And that's the goal. That's when something sings. You'll hear me say that a lot. When something sings, right? And it's like it hits your palate and it's like, ah. But a lot of the other topics that I'm covering in this module that you can easily do at home, even if you're not a member of the club, is one, make your own barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce from the grocery store is super laden with like emulsifiers and extra sugar, a lot of sugar. There's a lot of sugar in store-bought barbecue sauce, which is too bad. And often, like I find people like find one kind of barbecue sauce that they like and they love it. And it's even better to make your own because you can find a recipe you like, and then you can add more sweetness if you like a sweeter barbecue sauce, or you can add more salt if you like a saltier barbecue sauce. You can add more hot items to make it spicier, or you can add, more tart items to make it more tart, right? Like you can make your perfect custom barbecue sauce for you. And sugar isn't the only way to sweeten barbecue sauce, right? There's a lot of different ways to do it, right? Like I tend to add fruit to my barbecue sauce, which has sugar in it, of course, but it's not like refined white processed sugar in like the C&H bag. Another option that's really super simple is pickles, quick refrigerator pickles. Super easy. Basically, it involves like water, sugar, salt, vinegar, and that's it, and a vegetable, right? And then you generally boil your pickling solution, and then you add it to whatever you want to pickle, right? So like in the module that I'm creating, we're making pickled carrots, which is really simple. Like you take a 2-to-1 ratio of vinegar to water, add some salt and sugar, and then boil it, bring it to a boil so that everything dissolves and you don't end up with like greedy little grains of sugar or salt. And then you pour it over julienne carrots. That's it. You put it in the fridge, let it sit overnight, and you have great pickles, right? And they last for months, like months and months and months and months, right? Another favorite that I have for this method is mustard seeds, right? Like mustard seeds on their own are kind of like, actually I like mustard seeds. Like they're a little horseradishy, and I like horseradish. But mustard seeds can be a little bit bitter on their own, right? So if you do the same thing, basically you make your pickling liquid with the mustard seeds in it and you boil them for like an hour so that the mustard seeds like soak up all the goodness in the pickling liquid. They actually grow, they get soft, and then you pour them in jars, let them sit overnight in the fridge, and pretty much that bitterness is gone, right? And the longer they sit, the more flavorful they become because the mustard seeds actually absorb more pickling solution, and they're delicious. Like they're incredible on anything. Any kind of salad can be improved by pickled mustard seeds. Any kind of like burger, oh my god, pickled mustard seeds on a burger are like otherworldly. Like it really takes it like poof through the stratosphere. And then the final thing that I'm working on right now is a module for our lesson on caramelized onions. And again, this is something that you don't need to be a member of the club to make. Like it's literally just onions and like a little bit of cooking oil and then maybe some water, right? And to make caramelized onions, it's really easy. You just like cook them very slowly over, depending on how much you want to caramelize them, but anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes, right? You cook them very low, very slow, and you kind of move them around a little bit to make sure that they don't burn, because sticking is really close to burning, but sticking is where the flavor comes from, right? So sticking is flavor. And like to really get that best flavor, you got to take it so close to burning, but you got to keep an eye on it. So you keep it moving a little bit so that it doesn't burn, so that you basically get that beautiful caramelization of the sugars and the onions. And then it stops there and you move them around, and then another part of the onion is in contact with the pan right there. And then those get really sweet and complex and beautiful. And caramelized onions are another thing that you can like make ahead of time, like throw them in little Ziploc bags or even like ice cube trays, and then just like pop out an ice cube like whenever you need them. Right? And like they go great on burgers, they go great in soups, you can mix them into a salad, you can mix them into a vinaigrette. Like caramelized onions like add that kind of flavor that's just sort of otherworldly, right? Because they add a little bit of sweetness from the sugar and the onion, but the caramelization of those sugars give it like a not, I mean, you can make them smoky if you want, but it's not quite smoky. It's like just complex. It's like this savory, like depth that you really can't get anywhere other than caramelization. So anyway, there's some ideas for making your food taste better. They're all really simple ideas. If you're interested, leave a comment below and I'll drop some links that'll give you specific instructions how to make these things. And that's it. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.